Hello guys, welcome back to our VTV design channel. Today we will be diving into the captivating world of typography. Yes, typography. And how we can use typography to style our text effectively and to style our page beautifully. Now, typography is more than just making text look pretty. It gives character and personality to the words we see on our web pages. Whether it's a blog, an article, or an online store, typography plays a crucial role in how information is presented and perceived. For a start, what is typography? For a start, now, it refers to the art and technique of arranging type to make written language legible, readable, and visually appealing, right? It makes it to be readable and visually appealing. Now, think about all the websites you visited. Each one of them have their own different, unique style of text. Now, this diversity in text is what we call typography. It encompasses everything from the font choices to the spacing, to the alignment, whether the text is at the left or at the right or at the center, down to the color and a whole lot more, right? Now that we understand what that is, let's talk about how we can manipulate it using CSS. Now, it provides CSS provides us with a variety of properties that allow us to style our text in meaningful ways. Today, we'll be discussing four key properties, just four key properties in terms of styling your typography. The first one we will discuss is what we call the text align, then the font size, the color, and the line height. Now, these tools are what we need to bring our text to life. Now, the importance of typography includes readability, which means that when you have a clear typography or a clear text on your web page, you help readers understand the content easily. Poorly chosen font or spacing can lead to a whole lot of confusion for your users. That is why you have to make sure you make use of a very good font or whatsoever or color. Now, also, it establishes a hierarchy in your content. That means by varying font sizes, the weight, and the styles, you can guide the user's eye to the most important information. Now, you are on your web page and you want your users to see a particular thing, like let me subscribe, for example. What do? You in our YouTube channels, most this YouTube itself, they make the subscribe button red so that when a user comes into the YouTube channel, they can easily see that red button because red signifies like it's catchy. So making use of a typography very well can actually help you direct your reader's eye or direct your user's eye to an important information on your web page. And also it helps to convey your brand. Now, every web page or any user, or rather all owners of a web page have a brand they are trying to promote. For example, a tech company might make use of a sleek font to represent their tech brand, while a children's store might use a playful font to represent their children brand. Hope you get the idea. Now, of course, the importance is that it helps for readability, it helps for impairs, folation, readability, and a whole lot more. Now, the tools for styling our CSS. First of all, we have the color property in CSS, which helps us to set the color of our text. And then we have the font size, we have the text align, and then we have the line height, which you can see right here. Now, we have the text alignment that aligns text along the left edge of the corner of the page, right? The left alignment is like a default setting for most text. It aligns the text to the left side of the container. Then the right alignment aligns the text to the right side of the container, which can be helpful or useful for certain design layouts. Then the center, which is this, aligns your text to the center and is often used for like headings and titles and whatsoever. And the last one is what justified alignment. We'll particularize all these things later. That one aligns your text evenly along both the left and the right sides of the container, thereby creating a clean look. But sometimes it can lead to uneven spacing, sometimes though, but that's just basically the idea of what it is used for. So let's just particularize that. Let's say let's go back to our VS Code, right? Now let's say we want to align this H1, right? This H1 you see here. We want to align it to the center. So what do? We go to our, oh no, okay, let's just create a new paragraph, a paragraph tag to particularize this. Now let's just say P, right? Let's say P. So let's say let's use make use of a P tag, and then let's just say this will be saying um happy to have you here, happy to have you here, right? So we're going to style this, and let's give this P tag a class name. So we can a class name of happy. Good. Now giving the class name of happy. So let's style this making use of the class name. So let's do that. So we have to do is dot happy, right? Followed by what your braces. Now let's say text align text. And remember I said that we have in terms of typography we have four common values, of which we have the what the text align, the font size, the color, and the line height. These are the ones we're going to focus on today. So the first one is what text align, which you can see right there. So let's say we want to align that text which says what, which says happy to have you here. We want to align to the what, to the center. So we say text align and gives a value of center. Let's control save. Now let's go to view what we just did. Now this is going to display our text to have, now you can see, right, it is at the center. Before it would have been to your left hand side, but now it is at the center. Why? Because you have aligned this particular P paragraph or text towards the center and gave it text aligned. So even if, so let's say we change it to right. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Control save. Let's check that out. It should take that our text of saying, well, I'm happy to have you here, to the right hand side instead of to the center, because we have changed it from center to right, as you can see here. You see? So you can make use of text align in terms of aligning your text to wherever you want it to be, either to the left, to the right, to the center, and whatsoever you want. Okay. Now going forward, the next one we have on the list is what the font size. We can change the font of our text. Now let's align this back to the center. Let's take it back to the center, and then let's change the font size to something else. Let's give it a font size. Let's say we give it a font size of large, for example. Let's go to save. Let's go back and view what we just did. Now you can see it has increased. It's not as small as the way it was before. Now you can make use of this to change the font and how you want to appear on the screen. You can set font sizes in different units such as pixels or EM, which is and of EM. Now let me tell you what those actually mean. Now pixels is like an absolute unit of measurement. Pixels is an absolute, okay, let's go there. How you, let's say we want to do 12 pixels. Say 12 px. Sorry, 12 px. Px means pixels. Px means pixels. Now, pixels is an absolute unit of measurement. For example, setting a font size to 12 pixels means it will always be what, 24 pixels high. Hope, do we understand? Let me display that. Imagine we set this to 12 pixels. It means that it will always be 12 pixels high. All right. And let's view that, and let's view that what we just did. Then apart from pixels, in terms of font size, We also have EM. You can see, do you see how small it became? If I should increase the amount of pixels now, let me increase it to, let's say 50 pixels. 50. Let's see that the size will definitely increase. The size will increase because we have increased the amount of pixels we want it to display. You see how big it is now? Do you see how big it is? Yes. So you can play around with this in terms of displaying how big you want your text to be seen on your page. Now going forward, the next type of font size we have is what we call EM. Instead of having PX, we write EM here. EM. Now, this is a relative unit of measurement based on the font size of the parent element. Now, what does it mean? For instance, if your body font size is set to 18 pixels, then setting your font size of 1 EM will make it 10 times larger than that. Means that if, for example, you have set your font size to be 18 pixels, for example, then if you now set your font size, which of this particular element, it will then give it times 10 of the base. What does this mean? Let's say, for example, this P tag is inside of an H1 tag. Now, let's particularize that. Let's say I have an H1 tag here, right? And then this H1 tag is in this P tag rather. Let's copy, control copy, and then let's put that P tag inside of this H1 tag. Can you see what I just did here? Now, this H1 tag is like the body encompassing this P tag. Now, if we are to give this H1 tag, right, a font size of 18 pixels, which is 18px, and then we give this P tag a font size of 1 em, it means that this P tag will be 10 times larger. Like if we give 18 times 10 pixels. Hope you will get the idea. Okay, let me practicalize that. Now let's say we give this a class name of what? Of class, let's say class name. A class name of H, for example, right? And then we give this P of already having a class name of happy. Now let's go there and do that. And then we come here to say H, right? H having a font size of what? A font size of 18. A font size of 18 pixels. 18. 18px, right? And then the happy, which is inside of the H1 tag, should now have a font size of what? Let's say 1 em. 1 em. 1. So this means that this font size now is now equivalent to 18 times 1 times 10 rather. It's now equivalent to 18 times 10, which is now equivalent to what? 180 pixels. So this means that this P tag, this P we are seeing here, this P tag we are seeing here, which says happy to have you here, would now be automatically 180 pixels, because this 1 em is an equivalent of 10 times this 18 pixels. Please guys, hope you got the idea of what I'm trying to explain. Hope we're not confused. It just basically means that if you have an element inside of another element, if this one is having a particular pixel, if this H1 card is having a particular pixel, and you give this one an em, it's an em means times 10 of something. So please guys, hope you get the idea. So if we are to view this, if we are to go to our browser and view this, it should be displaying as we've said. You see, here we have it here, displaying correctly. This now is times 10 of the 18 pixels we had there. Hope you understand. Hope you've gotten that, guys. So going forward, now we have, like I just said, we have the pixels, which is what I just told you guys about. Then we have the EMs, and then we have the ranks. Now the ranks are similar to the EMs, but based on the root element font size. providing consistency across all the sections. Now, what does this BEMS rather, what does it actually mean? It means that it is similar to this EM, which is times 10, right? But based on the root element font size, which is what? Which is also something like this as well, which is the H1 tag. Please, it's similar to the EMs, which is the M's, of which it actually gets its size from the parent tag. Now going forward, now we are going to go into coloring now. Coloring, coloring and readability. Now let's talk about color. The color property allows us to change the color of our text, which can greatly affect the readability of our website. Now, choosing colors that contrast well with the background is very essential for ensuring that your text is easy to read. Please, guys, make sure you always choose a good color when trying to create or rather style your web page. Now, when selecting colors, consider using tools like color contrast checkers, which you have online, to ensure that your choices of color are accessible to all users, including those with visual impairments. Now, we have different kinds of color, of which we have blue. Blue means trust, right? For example, a tech company website, most companies they make use of blue. Then we have green. Green means growth, health, and red means urgency, passion, danger, and thereabouts. And then the last on the list is line height and spacing. Now let's finally discuss line height and spacing. Now the line height property controls the vertical space between lines of text within a paragraph. Now proper line height improves your user's readability by preventing lines from appearing too cramped, that's too close, or too spaced out, like too far from each other. Normally, this space is referred to as leading because printers use strips of lead to increase space between lines. Now let's give an example of that. Let's go back to our code and apply the line height. Going back to our CSS code of what we already applied before. Now let's give our paragraph a line height. Now let's come here and say line height of, let's say, 1.5 m's. Now let's control save that and let's view what you just did. Now this line height of 1.5 means that there will be 1.5 times more space between each line compared to the font size, and this can make reading a lot easier. As you can see, although you may not really see the difference here, but if you should check the way it was before, you will realize that there has been an improvement to this part, to the line height of this text you are seeing here. Now, in addition to line height, you can also control vertical spacing around paragraphs using your margin and padding properties. Now, the margin creates space outside an element. Now, what does that mean? Now, from here to here is what we call the margin. The margin creates space outside an element, and the padding creates space inside of the element, which is from here to here, like inside. The margin is always out externally and the padding is internally. Please get that, guys. Please get that. Now let's just particularize that. Let's go back to our code and let's say we give this a margin top of 20 pixels, and we also give it what a margin bottom of what 20 pixels. Now what does it do? What would it do? Now, this would help us to create a very clean layout by ensuring that elements are not too close together, in the sense that it will have space between the top. You can see here the top and the bottom. Now you can see that there's a space between this and a space between this image here. We gave it a margin top. Margin top means from this place, this one I'm showing here, from here to here. And the margin bottom means from here to here. All right. So now that we've covered these key concepts, let's do a quick practical demonstration. Now imagine we have a simple HTML document with a div containing some text about typography. Initially, it may look small and hard to read, right? But if we apply what we just learned, which is center the align, we center the text to the center, we change the color to something vibrant like yellow, we set a reasonable width so that all the lines are not too long, or we adjust the font sizes using the M's and thereabouts. By applying all these styles in our CSS file, we can transform our plain text into something interesting. You can transfer it into something very very interesting. So for a demo, now the first thing is that you can in terms of typography, you can align your text. Center aligning text, that means that you make use of what the text align center to center the heading, or you can make use of color yellow to apply a vibrant color for emphasis. Then you can also make use of width. You can see here, you can make use of font size, you can make use of line height, and there are a lot more. But these are the basic ones I want you guys to know for today. Now, guys, remember to wrap up in today's lesson. Remember that effective typography enhances your user experience by making your content more readable and engaging. If you have any questions or you need clarification on any particular point that you didn't understand, please leave them on the comment section, and I'll reply to them all. Thank you for being in this space with us. Thank you for staying to the end of this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.